By the way, what about everyone losing their minds on Saturday when Conor comes out all of a sudden with his pound for pound rankings and everyone just loses their mind, right? Everyone weighs in on this.
Yeah, but that's him. Conor's such a big deal, right? Everybody pays attention. It's like these people don't have the ability to just ignore it. Like everybody wants to say something.
So everyone wants to say something. I didn't really engage, but I have to be honest. I get offended about one thing, and this is not because we're doing the show. Your name does not come up enough in the pound for pound discussion.
Ever. It's
and I'm not talking about the current. I'm talking about the all time.
Yeah, it's so odd. I don't know. I don't know what it is that makes people not respect what you've done, but maybe you're one of those guys that is the legacy you leave will be respected and held in more high regard when you're gone. Because the reality is, I did this thing all the way right. I did it all the way right. I never tested positive for anything. I never, if you want to say I cheated, the only thing that they can ever say I cheated was the thing in Buffalo with the towel thing. That's it. Like this, if that's the biggest thing you have to hold against me, then
are you owning up to something?
No,
is this
I'm not
your
owning up to anything.
Right now?
I'm saying like everybody's like, oh, you held the towel. I didn't hold the towel. But if you want to say I held the towel, then listen, okay.
Well, I think there's actual footage of you touching the towel.
Listen, I didn't touch the towel, but like if you want to let your eyes trick you, let your eyes trick you. Let it trick you. But I'm saying like it was all an illusion. But if that's the biggest thing, even if I did, say by chance that I touched that towel very slightly, right? That's the biggest thing you got to hold against me when you've got people that you're putting at the top of these lists with 2, 3, 4, 5 failed steroid tests, and you're holding these things in the same type of level. Like that's crazy. Like that's so crazy. But when I see DJ and
give me your top 5. Give me your top 5 right now.
I see DJ and I see George up there and Conor and these guys. There's nothing bad tied to their names at all. And
so what's your top 5? Give me your top 5.
First off, I've made this very clear. Failed steroid tests or anything, you're out.
You're out.
That's
I love it.
You're out. You fail any steroid test, you're out, right? No? I mean, Barry Bonds is out.
Yeah.
Not in the Hall of Fame. I mean, Mark McGuire's not in the Hall of Fame. Dude's at 75 home runs in one season. Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
Steroid test, you're out. That's the way a lot of sports have done it. But I say in no particular order, Demetrius Johnson, George St. Pierre, Khabib Nurmagomedov, who goes to 28-0. Myself's in there. And honestly, man, when you start doing that, I think you gotta. How
are you forgetting the greatest of all time?
I said George St. Pierre.
Did you forget George? Oh, did you say George?
I said George.
My bad.
Right away. But no, I think honestly, man, you start weighing accomplishments, and you got to start thinking in time. When you start going 5, 6, Conor McGregor's in there. Dude won 2 titles. I know he didn't defend anything, but he won 2 championships.
Okay, so the 5 that you came up with were Khabib, Conor, George.
Khabib, George, DJ, myself.
And Demetrius.
Probably McGregor. Or he won 2 belts, Oh, Henry
Cejudo. Number 1?
Henry Cejudo's in there too. So like 5, 6, Henry Cejudo won 2 belts. Like
who's number 1 in your mind?
The greatest fighter of all time? I think George St. Pierre. Honestly, if I got to be honest, I think George St. Pierre. I think when George St. Pierre won that fight against Michael Bisping at 185 and became a champion in 2 weights with all he had done before, I think it's George. And
walked away as 170 champ, walked away at 185.
There's no slight on
his 2 losses.
I'm not trying to slight Anderson. I'm not trying to slight Jones. Like the talent it's very visible. But you start failing tests, man. You can't fail tests. You just can't fail tests. So when these people are doing, and they're saying all that, and my name's never mentioned, it's so crazy.
Sean O'Malley joins us here on the Luke Thomas Show. What's interesting, Sean, is Henry Cejudo just dropped the title. Now, there is speculation he could come back, but if he doesn't, You still have a ways to go to climb the rankings, but I'm wondering what you make of the state of the division now that the champion has dropped the title and they're going to do this potential 4-man informal tourney to see what happens. It seems like there's a bit of a youth movement that's pushing out the old guard.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's scared or stupid or smart. Scared or smart. He's either smart, retiring on top, kind of leaving at the top, or he's not necessarily scared, but he's like, damn, that's a lot of tough fights in my division. I could just leave while I'm on top right now. I think he'll be back. He's in his prime. He's going to see this belt, someone fight for the belt, and I feel like he's going to get that itch to come back. There's those 4 people they talk about for the bantamweight title. No one's really standing out. No one's really like, this is who we want to be our champ. I win a couple more fights. I'm that guy. I'm the guy that people are going to want to see, the bantamweight champ. I'm that guy. And I'm going to go out there and perform like I did last time against Eddie. And then whoever I fight next, I'm going to go out there, do the same thing. And I'm only a couple fights away from the title because if you look at the rankings, they don't really matter. You had Jose Aldo ranked number 6 in the bantamweight division. He's never even won. You had Dominic Cruz coming off a loss fight. But the rankings don't matter. I think those top 4 dudes right now, the Sterling, Jan, Corey, and who's the other one?
Marlon.
Those top 4 dudes are killers. They're high-level black belts in MMA. But no one's talking about him. No one's like, that's the dude. No one's that interesting. I'm that guy. I'm that guy that's going to come, knock these dudes out, get my title shot, and I'm going to be champ. And it's going to be, people want to see me there. And it's going to be exciting.
What are your thoughts on Cynthia Calvillo as an opponent tactically? What are you looking for in this fight?
I've always been kind of the girl that everyone really liked in MMA, but unfortunately I've lost fights that I should have won and didn't perform when I could have performed. So sometimes people always like, what's Jessica's going to show up? And I think I'm kind of in another position where it's like, I get to rise to my own occasion. And I think Cynthia's good. I think she's one of the best, but I don't think that she can contend in this weight class. I'm not a little 25er, and everybody knows that. I contended with the best top 5 35ers, took them all to decisions. These littler girls, I just don't know, and it's nothing against her, but I just don't. I think sizes are those weight classes for a reason.
Tell me about this division, about 125. Valentina Shevchenko, of course, a dominant champ. She's outstanding, really well-rounded, but there's so much room to kind of claw your way back to the top. Is that one of those things where you're really looking forward to having had your shot and faced her already to get back to the top? What does it take in your mind?
Yeah, it's a lot of, capitalizing on opportunities like this. You know what I mean? It'll regain that fan that didn't really know me, that watched me that night and seen me get knocked out and was instantly turned off by me. So they're going to see me work my way up, and they'll relate to me, right? Because the average individual, they can relate to that kind of a fighter. So I'm excited to rebuild. When I said I came to 25, we all knew since day one when I've been in the 125 division that I'm champion material and I'm going to be the champ. The story ends that way. But my story to get there is just different than other people's, and I'm okay with that. And again, fights like this, these last-minute epic fights during, history-making time, like the pandemic, they're going to talk about these fights and these athletes for life, and I get to be a part of that, and being a part of that is just going to allow me to keep building my story to get back to Valentina. I had things that I made mistakes going into that fight, and I'm glad that people didn't get to see me at my best so they can continue to expect the worst. So when I perform at my best, they'll be even more shocked.
If you are a fighter or someone who wants to start training in MMA, listen up. My name is Phil DeRue. I am the head performance coach of American Top Team. I train some of the elite MMA athletes in the world, such as Dustin Poirier, King Mo Lawal, Frankie Edgar, Junior Dos Santos, Edson Barbosa, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Going to MMA gyms or hiring a personal trainer can get extremely expensive over time. So if you want to get in shape and train using the exact program of the top MMA fighters for an affordable one-time price, check out Fight Ready in the description below. Use code MMA Central to get 20% off your final purchase. I hope to see you on the inside.